There were times I was looking at myself in the mirror going, dude, why are you putting on khakis?
Where Johnny Hawley, who was blown up and killed, who had 2 children, I lived in a reality for about, I think, 15 years that it should have been me.
Your source of strength has never been you. It has always been from somewhere else. It's just my belief that mine is from God. And I choose to rely on God. And I'm far from perfect. I screw up all the time. But my life is at peace. I have found a point past the storm where I am at peace.
When things got really bad, which they will, we all are going to have times in our life where we just can't handle some things. To know that reaching out for help is an option. It's the same as going to the doctor when you can't get over the common cold and it's turned into something crazy.
Yep.
Or sinus infection. You got to go to a doctor and get medicine. It's the same with your mental health.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Bunkhouse here on Military Broadcast Radio, where we give veterans a voice. We're here every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Before we bring my guest on tonight, if you could, go to my link tree down here, scrolling at the bottom. Find me on your podcast platforms that you like to follow, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Go ahead and hit those follows. Show me a comment. Let me know you like it. See if you want me to talk about something else, and go ahead and share it out there as well. Also, one thing I want to get out before we get into the show is if you or anybody you know is having any issues or feel like they're alone or struggling with something, please know that there is always help out there. You're not alone. Call 899-988 for the crisis line, and you can dial 1 for the veterans line to get to the veterans crisis line. So again, now before we bring on our guests, here's a quick little note from Military Broadcast Radio.
Hi, I'm Beaker with Military Broadcast Radio TV. We're your virtual MWR, bringing veterans radio, podcasts, gaming, animation, 3D printing, and a community that never leaves you behind. Download our Roku or mobile app today.
Wisdom to share if you listen this week, so pull up a chair and stay for a spell. We're heading down a trail where good stories dwell.
All right, everybody. Now, I want to go ahead and bring on my guest. Please welcome Ira. Ira, welcome to the show, brother. Uh-oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
No, I feel like it was that 2020 COVID Zoom thing again. Sir, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Yep.
But no, thanks for having me on, John. This is, I think, the second time I've been on the show, first time live streaming with you. So it's going to be some good stuff, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, so for everybody out there listening, if you want to hear the complete backstory of Ira, please go ahead and move over to your podcast platforms, find me, and listen to episode 12. You'll find his whole backstory and everything. So real quick, if you could just give everybody that's out there listening and watching, if you could give everybody a little bit of background about yourself and kind of what you're into.
Oh, outstanding. So 20-year Air Force veteran, did 20 years, 3 months, and 28 days. You know, every veteran knows that number. It's on that 214 that we all carry in our back pocket, right? Grew up in some small sparrow fart little town out in Southern California. Farming community, didn't have the right name. So I was like, you know what, cool. Went in the Air Force. I think my dad tricked me because we're outside playing catch one day. He's like, what are you going to do after high school? I was like, I'm thinking about the Air Force. Like 2 days later, he's like, come on, we're going to go eat dinner. We got to stop somewhere real quick. That stop was the recruiter's office. I was like, oh, I guess I'm doing this. So entered delayed enlistment, enlisted almost a year later in 97. And then spent the next 20 years bouncing around. Started off in Guam, 2 tours at Pope Air Force Base, North Carolina, 3 in Korea, 1 here in Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, and then 8 years over in Germany doing aerial port and as well as airdrop stuff. So spent 20 years loading planes in the air transportation career field, the port dogs. So I got all the injuries: head, shoulders, knees, and toes, blown out back, all kinds of. You know how it is, brother. All the good.
bro,
So
yeah.
yeah. So retired. Oh man, it's been almost 9 years. So beginning of 2018, I retired and spent the next 8 years wondering who the heck I was. So bounced
Yeah.
between a few jobs, got a corporate job, which, John, we've talked. I'm not corporate at all, and this guy does not pull off a blazer well. So
Yeah.
after that, got out. Corporate world had to make some cuts, so I was on the chopping block. Got out, and then talking to brother Chaz, Coach Chaz over on our podcast, and it's like a 30-second conversation, and Bravo Mission Radio was born. It's like, hey, what do I want to do? He's like, let's do our podcast. Well, let's do it on veterans and their transition. Let's call it Bravo Mission Radio. Next thing you knew, it's like a podcast in 30 seconds. So we did that. We started recording and launching that in January. Getting a nice little following, getting our feet wet, all that stuff. So it's full bore now. And like your show, transition, focus on that veteran transition that we all deal with, and the highs, the lows, victories, mysteries, and the struggle. So, and that's actually how we met, was in one of the podcasting forums on Facebook. So, yeah, just doing the veteran thing, man, giving back to the veterans. So that's where I'm at. That's basically what I'm into. It's like, go to college and do a podcast.
Yeah. Dude, you can't ask for a better retirement life, right? Like,
I know I'm reverting to my early 20s, man. Going down to spring break somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll be you'll see them on MTV. They don't do that anymore.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do like the spring break stuff anymore on MTV, to be honest.
That's horrible, man. They used to be so good.
Yeah, that was.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't last very long. I'd be the guy napping on a lounge chair somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude, it's just college and podcast right now.
That's awesome, man. So, do you think, since starting your podcast and kind of finding that new purpose, do you think that's kind of helped you with kind of like your mental health journeys as well?
Oh, most definitely. I always joke around and tell people I kind of feel guilty, because all these guests that we have on, and the subject matter we talk about, like, to me, that's my therapy. That is like hands down better than any mental health provider I've been to. And I still do see, a psychologist for the stuff and things up there, but just getting out with the veteran community and talking and realizing, wow, I wasn't the only one going through this, the loss of identity, the loss of purpose. So yeah, my mental health has gone way up. Emotional health, which of course plays into the physical and the spiritual health as well. The 4 well springs we talk about on our show. And, you get so many great zingers from everyone, dude, like growing into your peace and coming to a full stop if you have to. Let your purpose find you. Those are just 3 of the things I've found from our guests, and there's so much more. And then of course, bouncing around, the show itself is fun to be on. Me and Chaz just have a blast doing. I get to do it with my best friend, Coach Chaz Higgins. And it's just a great time, dude. And it's become my therapy. So yeah, it definitely helped my mental health a lot.
That's good. I'm glad. But yeah, with that and starting up, so can you kind of give us a background on what the mission of Bravo Mission Radio really is all about, and kind of what you guys truly lean in on?
So our mission is very simple. We just want to give back to the vet fam by letting them know they are not alone, right? Because you and I and all the veterans out there, we've all been through that struggle. Whether you've been in for, even if you didn't make it through basic or boot camp, you still raised your right hand. You're still a veteran. Those who say anything different can contact me or Chaz. He's bigger, so contact Chaz. But we just want the vet fam to know they're not alone. And when we say vet fam, we're not just talking about the guys and gals who wore the uniform. Spouses served, military kids, the military brats they served. You missed mom and dad's anniversary like 10 years in a row. You missed Christmases with your brothers and sisters. They all served. So when we talk vet fam, we mean everyone in the vet fam. And that's our mission, is just to make sure, hey, if we reach 1, 10, or, 1 million, if one veteran wakes up on the daily and sees some social media stuff or logs into the show and it helps them, that's our mission set right there, is just make sure they help They get the help they need. They find their own purpose beyond the uniform, and then they pay it forward, right? Because that's what we do as veterans. You know, we do something great, we pay it forward. So that's our mission. You know, in a nutshell, it's just that's what we want to do, and we stick fast to that, man. You know, the back and forth on the show is driven by the veterans because it's their story, kind of like what we're doing now. Exactly like we're doing now. Like we've got the same kind of show, really, but there's so many veterans out there. It's like we're not in competition. As a matter of fact, I think I've referred people to your show, and you've referred people to mine.
Absolutely,
you know, that's what the vet fam does, right? That's that tribe mentality, and that's just what we want to foster, man. Is just letting those veterans know and their families that, hey, yeah, it's going to happen if it hasn't happened already, and when it does, do it on your own timeline. You know, mine took 8 years. I've seen people bounce back after 6 months. We just had a guest on who got out in 2005 who is still dealing with not being able to fully retire and get his flag because he was rolled out by the Army, and he's still dealing with that. So there's no timeline for getting over your transition.
No, you're absolutely right. Matter of fact, a few weeks ago, I had a Vietnam veteran on my show on the live, and still same thing. Even today, like he is now in the clerical profession, so he's a pastor now, but he went through a lot of rough times, and even still, it's like finding that community back in the veteran community is still, especially like, is a little bit it's hard sometimes, and still dealing with some of the stuff from the VA and some of the stuff just from transitioning in general. So yeah, I mean, you're right. There is no timeline. There's no era of veteran that it pertains to. It encompasses us all in that journey, right? And we all, the more we come together, the better it's going to be for everybody, and better for the next generation. Because like you said, we're not out here competing with any of our shows, right? This is we're building a network, building a family, you know. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've noticed since starting my podcast back up this year, right? Is just how willing everybody is to help each other, share resources, share guests, you know, like get on each other's shows, like, you know what I mean? So like, just that in itself, building that family, you know, building that community up is one of the key things I found that helps me. And I think we've talked about this a few times. It's like, it almost feels selfish sometimes, right? To do that because you do a lot of it to help yourself, but at the same time, you're also helping others. Like the primary focus is to help others, right? But deep down inside, you know, it's helping you too. So you get to feel a little bit selfish, but I think that's a good feeling of selfish because you're taking care of yourself when you do it.
Oh yeah, and you definitely got to take care of yourself first, and that's something we're not used to in the military. It's always mission first, you know, your troops first, you know, whoever you got to do, get it done. You know, you're out there doing what you got to do to push the mission out. Very little time, you know, especially when you reach certain ranks, right? CW2, I was an E7. You know, you got to worry about, I mean, you got to be what I used to call a Swiss Army sergeant, right? You got a young troop out there. You got to worry about, you know, is he getting his hair cut? Is he taking care of his finances? Is he getting the training he needs? Oh, by the way, is he married? How's his family doing? Their first time overseas. And compound that by how many airmen you've got. I had 40 people at one point in one of my duty sections. That's a lot of cats to herd, bro.
It really is.
And so there was no really me time, because then you got to take care of your own stuff and make sure you pass PT and make sure you take care of your own finances. And every once in a while, get 5 minutes to breathe. And when you get out, we still run on that. We get so hardwired to just have to be necessarily, you know, we have to be doing something, because if we're not, we feel we're letting something or someone down. We're not pushing the mission if we're just staying idle. And so when we get out and people hear, hey, put yourself first, it's like, well, I've got my family and I've got, you know, my new job and I've got this and that. And, well, you can't take care of them if you don't take care of yourself.
Yep.
You know, so you've got to take care of me first. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a week-long vacation somewhere. Sometimes it's just, hey, give me 30 minutes a day to like watch Ted Lasso or just sitting. I was painting my walls a couple weeks ago, and I literally sat there and watched paint dry one day. I stopped for like 15 minutes. I just sat there and like stared at the wall. And dude, I got done with that, and I was refreshed, man. Got to run with, got done with the rest of the day. But that hard wiring we get in the military is it's insane, dude.
It is.
And we all go through it.
I've noticed, for myself at least, there's been times where I felt myself kind of almost reverting back to that after making progress and not trying to be so rigid and not so constrained to a structure in personal life. You know what I mean? But I think that's okay. Also, I think that's another thing I know I talk about on my show, and I think you've talked about it too. Is it's okay to fall back some, because that's part of the process, is being able to identify those things, and then identifying that, and then finding the ways to get over that setback, right? And making sure that setback isn't as far back as it was the time before.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
example of that is, I had that spine fusion in February.
Yeah.
And this was the first surgery. I was like, hey, I'm going to do all the protocols. I'm going to follow all the medical, because let's be honest, in the military, hey, suck it up, buttercup. Then you go to the clinic, then you get a surgery. Oh, by the way, you're back to work in 6 weeks. Wearing steel-toed boots, working in an environment that's loud and full of exhaust fume, and there's no time to heal. Oh, and by the way, after 6 months, you got to take a PT test.
Yep.
Like, I had a spine fusion when I was in, and that was the routine. So you had to push. This time, dude, it took me. I am 6 months out as of the 24th of this month. Still in healing, but I'm taking my time. And this is the best recovery I've ever had.
That's awesome, dude.
Just by putting myself, that part of myself first and foremost. And it's played out well with all the other stuff, the physical, mental, and spiritual stuff. So it's tough to go. I mean, you make 2 steps forward, and there were days, man, I was like, I did great yesterday. I'm in a lot of pain today. So, I think I spent one day watching like 8 episodes of CSI just because I wasn't feeling it. And hey, I could give a damn, right? So
yeah, dude.
Definitely. That's the weird thing about when we get out, is we're taught to always stay in motion and moving forward. That when you do fall back, it's like, oh, what did I do wrong?
Yep.
You didn't do anything wrong. You're just hardwired that way now. Rigid flexibility, though, right? So, but that's my take on it. That's what I got to say on that to anyone on a social level. It's just take your time. Use that DD-214. That's your permission slip to take it easy, bro.
It really is.
I mean, if you're sick, or if you need a day, call it in. Take a day of PTO, or just call in scared, or just call in and say, hey, it's a beautiful day, I'm not coming in today. Wouldn't it be great if we could have done that in the military? Like, man, by the way, hey boss,
I wish.
It's beautiful weather, sun's shining, the birds are out. I'm not coming in today. I don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah, dude. I wish.
I know, right?
I will say that's one thing I do love about being retired and having a 100% remote job. Like, and I will say this also, that it comes down a lot to your leadership as well, and how invested they are in your mental health and your well-being as an employee. Because not all you don't always get the best leaderships even outside the military, right? Like, that's just how it is. But I have a really good boss, and there's been a few days like where I've been like really sick and have not felt good at all. Like, I barely open my eyes. I'll log in on Teams, shoot him a message like, hey boss, like, I'm not feeling too hot today. I'll make like the meetings that I absolutely have to be at, like the big project meetings, and I'll do as much as I can. And then he'll literally come back and say, hey, don't worry about it. We'll reschedule them for like later in the week when you're feeling better. Right. He's like, go take care of yourself. And in the military, even when people tell you to go take care of yourself, you feel so guilty when you do it. Right. Because they make you feel guilty after they tell you to go take care of yourself a lot of times. Like, it is honest truth, right? Like, it really is.
It is. Unless you get that one unicorn that like genuinely steps in and I lucked out and had a couple of those that, hey, they'd take your place out on the flight line and go push cargo for you if you were needing to go home or, but then you had those boo-boos, man. That would be like, oh, your wife had a kid. Cool. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
That was before the paternity leave came in. Like,
yeah,
what?
Exactly. They were like, hey, your paternity leave doesn't start for another 2 days. Sorry, bud. So see you tomorrow. Right. Yeah. Like, yeah, but no, and I will say that type of stuff is a lot better outside, at least from my experience and the leadership that I've had in the places I've worked has been a lot better. But again, it's accepting that and allowing yourself to take care of yourself on that level is in my opinion, probably one of the hardest things to do once you get out, because you're so used to not being able to truly take care of yourself, so it's accepting and in taking action to actually take care of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's where your fellow veterans, we talk big on mentorship when we're in active duty, right, in the uniform. Yep. Why do some people stop when they take it off? Like, you and I have both talked about this. We, with Chaz and with Abby and with Amber, I feel we have a right and almost a responsibility to those people entering the veteran status to reach out and say, hey, how are you doing? Or, hey, are you set up to get out? It's going to be a bumpy ride. Yep. I've got a couple people, they don't want to get shortitis. And I'm like, you're leaving the military. Now is the time to get short. Now's the time to say ow to the VA. Now's the time to pick out some clothes, because you know what?
Yeah.
I was horrible with that. I went corporate and I had no clue what to wear, man. I swear to God, dude, I owned like 2 suits, tan and black, weddings and funerals, and that was it. I didn't know what a blazer. I didn't know there was a difference between a blazer and a sport coat. But what I did is I reached out to a fellow veteran, and they got me spun up on it. Yeah. And we can't be afraid to do that, and we can't be afraid to reach out to those we know are getting out and say, "Hey, how you doing? You've been out for a month. You've been out for 6 months or a year. There's no time limit on it."
Right.
So yeah, that's and unfortunately, a lot of people forget that they can reach out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And actually, I think this is going to be the perfect time for a break, because when we come back, that's exactly what we're going to talk about, is building that tribe, building that community back up, and figuring out, giving some tidbits on how to do that and what that truly means for our growth. All right. So yeah, we'll be back here in about, exactly. Let's go hit the smoke pit, everybody. All right. See you guys in a few minutes.
Yep.
Sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He thinks his life is over, he can't understand. A bottle of whiskey and some pills in the drawer. He doesn't want to hurt himself or hurt anymore. Why must it be this way? Just think it all over and listen to the words I say. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, brother, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. She picks up the clothes that fall loose on the floor. She finds a crumpled letter just behind the door. Begins to read it with tears in her eyes. A horrible feeling takes over inside. Says, honey, can I talk to you? There has to be something that we can today. You're not alone. You're not alone. 'Cause you are not alone. There are millions of people who fight with their demons each day. Yeah, yeah. And you are not alone. So take my hand, son. Let's beat this together today. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He puts it away, 'cause now he understands.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Bunkhouse here on Military Broadcast Radio, where we give veterans a voice. So, before the break, my guest Ira, we were talking about Bravo Mission Radio, what they've been doing, and what it means to really to kind of transition issues and kind of getting back into the network, and getting really kind of building your community back out, and some of those struggles getting back into that. But before we get on to the next topic, we do have a question in from Bill Lowe off of Facebook. Bill, he's actually he's a podcast host himself. He hosts the Semper Tri podcast.
Wow.
So his question is, Ira, what would your advice be to someone looking to join the military?
Oh, wow. I actually just had this conversation with my son a few months ago. He wants to know when he's 17 if I'll sign him over. And you know, coming out of a 20-year enlistment, right? At which time 16 of those were at war. And seeing what that did to this generation of veterans coming out, I told him, I was like, I'm not going to encourage or discourage you. I'm going to give you all the facts and let you make a grown man decision. Because that's ultimately what it is. It's their decision. I will give all the facts I can on the Air Force and the DoD writ large. And then say, if it's not for you in the Air Force, I got a Marine buddy who can talk to you. I got an Army buddy, Navy, Coast Guard. I don't know anyone in Space Force really, but I'll just tell them, do your homework. Because the last thing you want is a new airman to get stationed overseas and be homesick and, not being able to work or just being down in the dumps. Just do your homework. Talk to all the recruiters, find out which one is the best fit. Family legacies are great. If your family's in the Marine Corps, cool. But if you want to go Army, we had a wayward son in our family who went into the Marine Corps. We're all Air Force. He went Marine Corps and he loved it. But that's the advice I would give anyone, is just do your research. As a veteran, just give the facts. I will not encourage or discourage anyone because that's not my place. I can tell you all the good times I had, but I can also tell you all the bad times I had.
Yeah.
And all the ones in between. So great question though, Bill. Awesome. Can't wait to get that guy on my show.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, man. I'll link you guys up this week, so you guys can so you guys can talk.
Yeah, I think he friend requested me on Facebook, so we go way back.
Yeah,
like 20
awesome.
30 minutes, man.
All right. So now if you could, because I know a lot of what you do and what you kind of promote is building your tribe. Can you real quick tell us what that means to you?
Just creating a family, dude. Veterans, we have this uncanny sense of when another veteran's in the room, mannerisms, haircuts. Just the hat, the retired GWAT vet or Vietnam era veteran, or, whatever. I got one of those, and I wear it in the airport all the time. It's Air Force retired. I wear it in the airport, and I've had countless veterans. We just sit there and start BSing. It's just that family environment that we want to create on the show, and with our viewers and our followers and everything. Is just be comfortable with who you are. No one understands veterans more than veterans do, or their families. The spouses that have to put up with us, and the kids who bounced around the world. And so when we say tribe, like I said, we're not talking about just the folks from the uniform. We're talking about all the people who supported them. And again, it comes back to just making sure no one in the tribe thinks that they're alone in what they're doing. If they're getting ready to transition out, if they've been out for a day or 10 years, let us know what you got, and we can do whatever we can to help out. We've had guests from the VA that have gotten, a lot of good advice for us. We've got resources. We've got, just a tribe to us is everything. It's supporting your family, and that's what we're trying to do. And that's it. It's very simple. It's so simple. It sounds complicated to some people, but you're doing this. Why? Well, because it's the right thing to do. So that's pretty much it, man. And it's so easy. Like I said, we met on a Facebook podcasting thing. It's like, hey, you're a veteran. I'm a veteran. You want to go do karate in the garage?
You got so much room for activities.
So much more. And there we go with the movie quotes, right? That's how you can tell another veteran is you can have an entire conversation, nothing but movie quotes and song lyrics. And that's just it, man. Is especially the network that you and I have created. We've kind of got our own little orbit going. We've got some of the same players going on. And that's the tribe, and that's a tribe in itself. And because, like I said, so many veterans out there that got so much stuff going on. There's enough for everybody at the table.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that's our view on the tribe. Is just a big family environment where everyone free from judgment, no politics. We don't do politics at all because no, I'm not going to start that. But it's just being a family environment, dude. Just keeping it loose, letting the viewers or the guests guide the show and get their stuff out there.
No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, like you said, like when I was relaunching, I joined as many Facebook groups as possible that was around podcasting. And what I will say is there's quite a bit of veterans in those groups now too, which is good. Like that helped me. That made me a little more comfortable. It helped me out too, and kind of growing my network. And then, man, like there's some that you meet and you just instantly hit it off. Like me and you, like we instantly connected and like hit it off. And we talk on a regular basis and not just about podcasting, right? Like there's other things that we work on together and other groups that we've kind of built and kind of really tied into. And then, and my thing is like building a tribe or building a community. Like you don't have to just stick with one group only either. Like that's the best part about building your community online. The network, like the veteran network, is find folks that are local in your area that you can actually hang out with too. Like I think that's a big important part of building that tribe is having somebody local. Like there's I know we've talked about this before. Like my daughters, they do all-star cheerleading, and being in the Camp Lejeune, North Carolina area, either the cheer dads are going to be either active duty Marines or Navy, or they're going to be veterans, right? A lot of them are veterans. So I was very standoffish. I was very isolated. Like I was the veteran cheer dad just kind of sit in the corner to himself, cheered on my daughters, and then like that was about it, right? And most of the other cheer dads were about the same, especially the ones that were veterans also. And my wife and his wife kind of forced us to start talking together at the competitions, and we instantly clicked, right? We instantly hit it off, and now we plan monthly poker nights that a group of us have. We go to the same church. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that like it's just building that community and having somebody that you can just kind of sit with, shoot the shit with, or just talk through things with, it's key. And so building not just like your online community, but having a community that you have locally that you could just go out, hang out with, even if it's just going to, I don't know, a park somewhere, or just sitting at one another's house and just having a good, nice glass of bourbon, playing some cards, whatever the case may be. Like, yeah, I mean, that's part of it, man. And
I'm in a very veteran dense area, a majority of it's Air Force. And the cool thing is the cul-de-sac I live on, there's 8 houses. And I want to say 5 of those have veterans, and there's about 9 of us.
Yeah.
On this exact same cul-de-sac of various, lengths of service and ranks and service branches. And, like my buddy Bill lives right across the street. There were times I'd go over to his house and we'd do nothing but talk about old times. And we've talked about this a couple times, is we're not trying to recreate our service. We're just celebrating it. Right. So every once in a while, you get together with the boys, you talk about that one time that a dude, did something stupid at work, tried a spinning heel kick off an ISU 90 and broke his leg. True story. Kandahar, Afghanistan, a guy did that off one of the big ISU 90 connexes.
Oh, man.
Broke his leg in 3 places, to include one in his femur. Like, dude, you jumped off a 96-inch tall platform,
bro,
spinning heel kick, and just so, yeah. But see, right there, that's just something to celebrate. Is, well, not his case, but just something cool to talk about. And I've heard the military is a subculture. No, it's not. It's its own culture. It's not a subculture of anything. It is its own culture. Now, service branches are subcultures of that.
Yep.
But at the same time, we're all family. So how many times have we made comments about Marines eating crayons and the chair force and Army grunts and, the Coast Guard, military or not, Is there a war going on? Then yes, they are. Peacetime, drug interdiction, cool. But we can say that about us. I've seen a civilian try to do that, and it doesn't work out right.
It does not. Even if they're friends with veterans, they still can't really do that, right? Like, I've seen that. Like,
like, no, bro, you need to sit this one out. You go stand in the corner. You're at the kid table now.
Yeah,
it's fun to be a veteran and have that community of veterans around you. And unfortunately, that's not like that for everyone.
It's not.
I was recently in a program called Warrior Scholar Project, where as a veteran student, you go to a university setting for a week and you study one of their courses. You live in their dorms. You eat in their chow hall. Cafeteria is what they call it. I got to go to Princeton for mine, which was awesome.
Oh, nice.
And you're taught by like the fellows, which are all veterans. They come on and they talk to you about study habits and, your identity as a student veteran. Excuse me. And then you're taught by actual Ivy League professors on one of the subjects.
That's cool.
And so in 1 week, you get a whole semester's worth of knowledge thrown at you.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of folks. There was one dude, former Marine, and he retired, or he rolled up to Montana. Not a big veteran presence, none of that. So he didn't really have. But while he was there, man, he was in hog heaven, dude. He was loving being around veterans and just shooting a shit with us and hanging out. But it's important, sometimes when you look at where you want to go, when you get ready to separate or retire. For us, me and my wife, it was a given. We want to be around where there's VA and there's a veteran presence.
Yep.
And it worked out well for us. Some people, they don't want that, but they should also, have that sanity check. Am I going to miss this? Is there a Legion or a VFW there? Because once you get out, Uncle Sam don't send you a Christmas card anymore.
Nope.
They used to tell my troops, I'm like, your uniform has an expiration date on it. And the day you get that blue ID card is the day they pretty much say, hey, man, thanks for your service. Have a nice day. And we're all we got sometimes, right? As veterans, right?
Like, it really is. And that's one thing, like, I think that's one thing that, like, for me, that was, I think, the hardest piece. And especially me retiring out of the Camp Lejeune area and staying here and still knowing people around, kind of like you did, like in Germany, like you kind of the same way, right? Like, but again, it's like you're like, oh man, it's not going to change. I'm still going to hang out with people. They're still going to check in on me. I'm close. I'm local. And then that is not the case even at all. Like not even a little bit. It's like as soon as that day comes and you have that DD-214 in your hand, it's no longer like you no longer exist anymore. It's almost right. Like that was probably the hardest part for me, is because you make so many good friends, like close friends, like, and you guys talk about anything and everything on a regular basis, and then all of a sudden there's nothing, and the only time that you talk is if you reach out to them, and it's not even immediate. It's like a 3 or 4 day later before they respond back to you, right? Like,
yeah, because they're still hitting the grind. They've still got their troops. They've still got their mission. They've still got their family, and then their own time that they've got to squeeze in amongst their volunteering and their schooling and their intramural sports. And military is a busy, busy industry, man. It really is. And when you get out, that void, we don't know what to do with that void of time. And we don't know what to do with our voice, because now no one really has to hear us.
Yeah.
And those bullshit sessions in the smoke pit are gone. Feedbacks with your troops gone. Just when we were loading planes, we'd be talking smack all the time. Gone.
Yeah.
You're not looking down and seeing U.S. Air Force next to your name. All that's gone. All that identity, all the purpose, the mission. And they don't really prepare you for that.
They don't.
And quite honestly, I have mixed feelings on that they should prepare you a little bit better. But at the same time, it's like, do they have the time for that? And do they have the money? When I come from a career field that, hey, we couldn't afford boots at one point, steel toes or gloves, so it's kind of a fine line, but that, again, that's where this veteran community comes in to create that tribe and pull them in.
Yes.
And say, hey, you are going to miss all of these things. Because what is it? The first 3 weeks, I watched all the Marvel movies, drank a lot of coffee, started college, and took a lot of naps.
Yeah.
And then one day it was like, oh, I'm supposed to be coming off leave and putting on a uniform. Shit. And I've told you this story a couple times. I just stood in the kitchen there in Germany, like, who am I?
Yeah.
Well, was I ever really me? Because I came in when I was 18, still with the cerebral frontal cortex area developing.
Yeah.
I didn't know who I was out of the uniform.
Yeah.
Didn't know I could reach out to other veterans. They showed me how to retire. They showed me how to, apply for jobs. But none of them said, hey, when you get out, Master Sergeant Hearen is just going to be Ira.
Yep.
And that's it. So there's no requirements for anything to be done. It was just kind of silent. And we're not used to that. So again, that's where other veterans need to take that right and responsibility to reach out and mentor, especially if it's your buddies, dude. If it's your battle boo that's getting ready to get out, and that dude's getting out, you should do everything you can to prepare that guy. I got a couple of those in the pipe right now that I'm like, dude, you got to let yourself get short, because you're retiring and they don't call you if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
So
start stepping back now, right? That's what you have to do. Let's start letting the reins go now and start stepping back and letting somebody else step up for you, like in your place, because that's what's going to happen on that day, and because nobody's going to care that you're gone. I mean, and that's the brutal truth of it. And I think, and I really think the more people are honest with folks about those types of things when about transition, the less surprised they'll be. And I think it'll be easier to start building that tribe once you're out, if they already know ahead of the time to be prepared for something like that. Because I wasn't prepared for that at all. Nobody told me those things at all. I was not prepared for that type of transition to where you pretty much did not exist anymore. Was not prepared for that.
Staying in your local area, like you did, like I did.
Yeah.
Because my wife was still active duty. So I'd be, at the PX or at the, commissary and CP, hey man, you want to go? No, I got to go back to work. Like, oh shit. That's right.
Yeah.
You have a job, and it's rough, but again, we know it's rough. So we reach out, we do our podcasts, we do our social media work, and to make sure no one feels like that. So,
absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a quick break again. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some things. If there's anything coming up next for Bravo Mission Radio, where everybody can find and listen to Bravo Mission Radio, and what it means to give back to the community.
Outstanding. I can't wait, man.
All right, everybody, just give us 2 more minutes and we'll be right back.
Wonder what was going on inside the man in black's mind. Was he missing June? Was he thinking back when that picture was snapped? Was he wishing he could hold her? Did he know his life was over? The day that camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Alive there on his face, show hard living and show grace, a story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
The lines alive there on his face, show hard living and show grace, a story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Wonder what was going on inside the man in black's mind. The day old Marty flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Bunkhouse here on Military Broadcast Radio, where we give veterans a voice. Before the break, we were talking, Ira and I were talking about building that veteran tribe and what that really meant and how important that really is, I think. And we both, and that's probably the sentiment I get from a lot of veterans, is building that tribe, building that community and network after you get out. That helps settle in a lot of things, a lot of unknowns, because like you said, we all share experiences. A lot of us have the same things that we're dealing with, just from different experiences that's caused these things, and I think that's one of the biggest things is getting back into that veteran network and building that tribe. And so with that real quick, is there anything coming up next for Bravo Mission Radio? Any new things coming up? Any new initiatives for the show?
So we are actually going to go to a live stream format for Bravo Mission Radio Live. So that's going to be our main COA, course of action, cool acronyms. So Chaz and I actually talked about it. We had a strategy sesh a couple weeks ago. The live stream is where we want to go. That's going to be on Sundays. And what we're going to do with Bravo Mission Radio recording is we're actually going to start doing educational podcasts.
Okay.
So we've got a finance guy coming on who's going to talk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour about hey, if you're, get out at 4 years and you've got 20 grand to put in, here's how you do it. Or, hey, you retired and you were a boo-boo with your finances.
Yeah.
Here's how you can kind of bounce back. Or, hey, you thrived and your TSP is outstanding. What do you do with that $1 million so it doesn't sit stagnant, right? So we've got them coming on. We've got a veteran caretaker we're talking to now to see if she can come on and talk about how she takes care of veterans. Let's see who else we got. We got a couple of folks lined up, man. That's the kind of stuff veterans need to hear.
Yeah.
Is that stuff like that? We've got, and we're bringing on a couple of civilians as well, just to show the vet fam that, hey, you got an alcohol problem? This civilian here can tell you how to get through it without the ties to the military. He's going to be on the show talking about his experience. We've got a woman who lost her husband 11 years ago, civilian, but she went through her 5-year period of adjusting to life as a single mom with 3 kids and wrote her own book, The Widower's Guide to Bouncing Back. Not military, not veteran affiliated whatsoever, but has that experience. So we've got those coming up. We're getting our website built up here soon so that we can have, all of these cool things, these podcast links, links to your show, links to any other of the podcasts going on out there, a repository of all of this information that we're getting out. And then just having fun with it, dude, because that's what it's all about, right?
It is.
We can get on here and we can, be Debbie Downer talking about this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, like if you walk away from a podcast and you're feeling down and you're a veteran, it's like you need to tune into the Bunkhouse or Bravo Mission Radio and see what a good time is, right?
Yep.
So we're just gonna keep doing what we do, and we're gonna do it more live and then have those educational snippets going on that we launch as we film. I'll do a quick editing because I don't edit anything.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, we keep it raw, dude. The authentic, raw. Unless you come down and say, "Hey, let's take out that joke about me doing the thing I did." Like, okay, I'll make it into a reel instead. But yeah, those are the couple things we got going on. Those are our initiatives. So just trying to get more info out to the vet fam. That's what it's all about.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Like I love the fact that you guys are not scared of pivoting and trying something new. I think that is so amazing because like again, that's kind of what I did when I partnered with Military Broadcast Radio. It was the first time I ever did any. I'd never really did a live session ever before, and jumped right in. And I'm not gonna lie, like I enjoy doing lives. Like it's great because they're more dynamic. You have a lot more conversations about different things, and so like I enjoy the lives. I plan on continuing to do these for a lot longer. I'm still going to do my pre-recorded releases every month that I always do, but no, dude, I think that's awesome. And I think that's part of your like that's testament to your growth as a member of the community that gives back, right? Finding different ways, and not even better ways, because if you're giving back or providing in any fashion, that's outstanding just in itself, right? But finding different ways to give back, different areas of expertise to share information, because you're right, because there's not a lot of people out there sharing those types of like kind of really knowledge, right? Like that's, and again, like they say they teach us financial management while we're in and when we're transitioning, but they really don't teach you financial management at all.
Mine was an Excel spreadsheet with a budget.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't even look at it. He was like, "Well, you're retiring, so you're pretty much set." I'm like, then why did I make this thing, man?
Yeah. He's like, no, you're absolutely right. It's like, cool, you filled it out. They didn't really see what you actually put. They're like, all right, cool, you filled it out. Sweet, thanks. Like, yeah.
But it's when you find your purpose beyond the uniform, and this being mine, and and then you've got a great bro host with Chaz. Like you've been on the show, man. Me and Chaz.
Yeah, dude.
That's the ebony to my ivory, bro.
Yeah.
If he's watching, love you, bro. Boom, mad hearts to you. But when you get to like do something like that and give back so seamlessly in an altruistic manner, like it's like the greatest feeling in the world.
It is.
It really is. It truly is. I find peace in it. I find when we're on the air or when I'm working on something, that self growth, that personal growth mindset kick in,
Yep.
and it's just, I mean, there's no better way to describe it than you're just in the zone. You know, it's your purpose. Like it's all consuming for me, you know, and it is for you because I know you've put in a lot of work on your show, and you know, and everyone. I think veterans as a whole, we just have that service mentality that
Yeah.
when we find something with a community, you know, you got guys that are devoted more than anyone else to like the Legion or the VFW, or to, you know, to Toys for Tots program or CVMA, right?
Yep.
The Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association, stuff
Yeah.
like that. We're in such a mindset of giving back to any kind of community that if it becomes your purpose and you're taking care of your own community in the veteran community, especially the vet fam, dude, win-win for everybody, man.
It is, man. And that's one thing like I truly enjoy is meeting all of these different people that have like all these different veterans that have so many different initiatives and it's a lot of them are and what I've noticed, especially like the grassroots organizations, like
Mhm.
not your in the limelight type of organizations, but like I love getting the grassroots podcasters, the grassroots organizations. I love getting them out in front and be able to tell their story, tell what they do as a service, you know, because those are the ones that, in my opinion, are going to help the everyday average veteran out more than anything. Um,
Mhm.
because, and again, that's just my opinion and my experiences. A lot of the larger organizations they have some pretty rigid requirements to get some of their
Yeah.
services. You're right, um, and they market to what I would consider like the high profile veteran, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, it's their
Um,
business. It's
it is, and I get it.
big box foundations is what I call
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
I get it, and I don't begrudge them for that because
yeah.
they can give millions of dollars a year that I can't.
Exactly.
How are they gonna
Right.
do it? You know, they may have the chisel-chested Navy SEAL on the commercials, but they're giving back to, like, the 2-year combat veteran who, you know, had to get medically rolled out at the same
Yeah.
time, so I don't fault them for that, but like you, yeah, dude, I love the small veteran business owners, the guys who are writing books, the guys, who are building media companies and a lot of coaches, right? I say the best part of, you know, one of the best parts of the job is I don't pay for coaching. I have so many guests that are coaches. I just kind of
Yep.
pick and choose who I want to talk to. Um, and I like putting, like you, I like putting those folks up front. Um,
Yeah. Because they don't have the budget for massive marketing, you know, to get their name out there. They're using all the free tools, which don't get a lot of like a lot of viewership at all, you know. And so that's one way I try to give back with my show is every guest that I have on, if they have a service or if they've written a book or if they hosted a podcast or whatever, I want them to selfishly promote themselves, right? That's why I wanted to bring you on my live is so you could talk about Bravo Mission Radio, right? Like
oh
that's
yeah.
what I wanted, like you know, and that's part of what a lot of us do, and especially like what I would consider the grassroots. A lot of us that's how we network. That's we promote each other. There's
Mhm.
no competition whatsoever. It's all working together as a team and a family.
Yeah.
Um, we are coming up on time. So, real quick, if you could tell everybody where we could find Bravo Mission Radio, where we can listen, where we can watch.
Outstanding. Well, we are on Spotify and YouTube for our episode launches every 2 weeks for now. Like I said, we're about to start going live every Saturday, unless someone doesn't want to be live. Then we'll pre-record, and then it'll just be me and Chaz, or we might call you like, "Hey, in 30 minutes we're going on air. You want to join us? You know, live stream a
Yeah.
little bit." And you probably would too. You'd be like, "I'm a pilot. I can fly." Name that movie. You know, there's Independence Day, right? Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
I'm a pilot. I could fly.
I could fly.
Favorite movie line of all time.
Dude.
And then we can be found on YouTube. Let's see. We're on Instagram, Bravo Mission Radio, all one word. We are on Bravo Mission Radio. Hotline is our Facebook group. Bravo Mission Radio is our page. My own personal, Ira Hearen, Facebook. Everything you find on the other two is on there. I can be reached there as well. LinkedIn, small presence on there just under my profile. And then that's pretty much it. I think those are the social media platforms we fall under. And if anybody wants to be on the show or has any ideas on topics, they can email us directly at Bravo Mission Radio, all one word, at gmail.com.
Awesome, man.
Or hit up John and get his info, and he'll steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, that's what we do as a community, man. We help each other out. So again, if you reach out to me, you can email info@thebunkhousecast.com. And trust me, if it's about any show or any guest that I've had on my show, I promise you I will get you in touch with them, or at least link you up with them and get their information over to them. So again, Ira, thank you again for coming on, man. I love what you guys are doing. I'm definitely we're going to have to do some collaboration and do some co-showing, so we both go live at the same time, and we both have a show, man. You know?
Yeah. Well, we got our 20th episode anniversary, so I've told you about that.
Oh yeah, I told you I'll be there. I'll be there, man.
The wheels are turning on how we're going to approach that, because we try to do that on a Friday night, because none of us really drink anymore. So what else are you going to do on a Friday night? I'm gonna hang out with veterans online.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we got that coming up. But man, thanks for having us out here.
Absolutely, man.
One safe round I got is veterans. If you're out there and you're feeling down, you're going through the funk, make sure you reach out to someone, another veteran, myself, John, anyone in the veteran community, reach out to them. And if you're a veteran who's been through it, if someone crosses your mind, like, oh man, I wonder how old boy's doing from 03 when I was in Kandahar, just reach out. We've got so many social media platforms, and you can still use a cell phone to call people. Did you know that, John? Not just for texting anymore.
Really? Is that right?
You can actually dial the number pad.
Man. So I know we're a little over time, but it's funny. I just saw a commercial. I've actually seen this commercial quite a few times, where it's almost like an Uber picked them up, right? And their Uber driver notices they're scrolling on their phone, and he looks in the rearview mirror and says, "If you have time to scroll, you have time to call." And so, like no kidding,
So that's my safe round for your show, man.
And that's awesome.
That, and just take care of yourself. Put yourself first every once in a while, and take care of your veteran family, your vet family, your tribe.
Absolutely, man. No, I appreciate it, brother. And for everybody out there listening, thank you for joining in tonight. And get out there, build that tribe, stay connected to the veterans. Trust me, I promise you, it will help you in the long run. I promise. And so build that tribe up. And as always, be the light in someone's dark.
Hi, I'm Beaker with Military Broadcast Radio TV. We're your virtual MWR, bringing veterans radio, podcasts, gaming, animation, 3D printing, and a community that never leaves you behind. Download our Roku or mobile app today.
Wisdom to share if you listen this week, so pull up a chair and stay for a spell. We're heading down a trail where good stories dwell.